in the last earnings call, we did talk about how for 3 quarters in a row, we've been seeing net inflows from all of the incumbent brokers. And actually, as part of the Hood Summit, we announced that we've got multiple of our offers coming simultaneously as part of what we call Hood Week. So that's 1% transfers on brokerage accounts, 2% for customers bringing a margin balance of above 10,000, and 3% for gold customers bringing in retirement accounts. And I think one of the reasons these have resonated is they're uncapped. So you can basically bring in any amount of money, and we would match you these significant amounts on that. So we've even had customers that are pretty close to retirement age, and they have large retirement accounts, and they're bringing their portfolios over to us because the value proposition of getting that 3% instantly is so strong. So we've seen even older customers than what you might consider sort of like a typical Robinhood customer coming in to take advantage of the new tools and the new capabilities that we offer.
I want to talk about maybe an atypical Robinhood customer. I'm not sure. You talk about active traders, and I know you have 2 million people logged into your event. You have a new platform for legendary trading, so very active, I'm guessing, and you've got a desktop platform as well. But do you work at all with institutional or, say, RIAs? Do you license out your technology to other platforms to use?
We've been getting a lot of requests for that, actually, because the things that we've rolled out for retail consumers over the past year, you can imagine that they're very interesting for institutions as well. For example, we have 24-hour market, which allows we became the first retail broker in the U.S. to offer 24-hour trading of single name stocks. Now that's expanded to over 1,000 names, including some of the most popular ones. We have the lowest margin rates in the industry. So these are things that are very useful to retail, but you can imagine, if you're a hedge fund or other institution or a business, you want access to the markets, that's useful to you as well. And if you are a registered investment advisor, as you mentioned, thus far, the focus has been purely on retail. We want to make sure that we're as focused as possible, and we do, frankly, as good of a job as we can on a limited set of things. But I think over time, that's a natural expansion opportunity for us. Institutions care just as much about access to markets and having the lowest possible rates and the best economics.
Vlad, I'm also curious about something you mentioned earlier, this kind of interest in the U.S. election cycle. Certainly, we have seen a lot of single-name trades headed up to that election. We have seen DJT whipsaw quite meaningfully along with other Trump trades in recent days. How are users on your platform trading the election by and large, and how are they reflecting it through the options market, including the spot market?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the interesting developments, and this does have to do with futures as well, is the introduction of prediction markets and presidential election contracts that is a recent thing. And I think what customers are really showing is that they need more accurate information, and they're turning to some of these alternative sources, not just as a mechanism to trade and hedge risk, but just as a way to kind of get away from the cloudiness and murkiness of these polls. I think polls have lost a lot of their power and credibility over the past few years. And, some of these alternative markets, people are putting real money on the line. And I think the signal for that is very strong and powerful.